Hey, what's up, Addison? How you doing? Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. I've been trying to quit smoking recently, which I know is probably a little surprising to some of you, because I look like more of a Capri Sun kind of guy. I look like an extra on iCarly. God damn, y'all are a hot crowd, man. I look like I could have my own show that's like a reverse To Catch a Predator, where like I pull out my ID 3 drinks in, we're like, hey, it's been perfectly legal the entire time. Joke's on you. Then every episode has the wholesome twist ending of 2 consenting adults sharing some hard lemonade and a hand job. It's a family-friendly program. Yeah, no, I've been trying to quit smoking though, and I saw this ad the other day, it really pissed me off. It started off in these big bold letters, it was like, be the generation that ends smoking. And I was like, that's really self-important right off the bat, like I'm already off board. But then like the whole thesis to their argument was they had a bunch of pictures of cats that were looking really sad. And they were like, pets in the homes of smokers have a 40% increased risk of getting lung cancer. Yeah. I was like, we've known against people cancer for like 60 years and smokers are still smoking. I don't think the cats is what's gonna do it. Really, the whole thing just left a bad taste in my mouth, you know, it kind of made me want to open up my own tobacco-friendly kill shelter. You know, your cat gets lung cancer, that's a stressful event. Come on in, smoke a cigarette. We'll do all the work for you. It'd be weird if a shelter didn't do all the work for you. Like if they had like a Tuesday Old Yeller special. 50% off if you got the balls to take things into your own hands. I don't like cats very much. I think they're a bad pet. Because cats just kind of reinforce the depression that the kind of people who buy a cat already have. You're in your apartment all sad, like, oh, no one cares about me. Your cat's just kind of idly walking by, like, I can't speak for everybody, but I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go piss in your shoe. You're jerks, man. I think that masturbating without pornography is kind of like eating a Hot Pocket out of the oven instead of the microwave. Like it takes a little longer, but afterwards you feel like a better person. Because porn's great and all, but it's kind of gross too, you know? Like, I don't know when guys got together and decided that deep throating's a hot thing to watch, but maybe it's just me, but when the chick starts making Gollum noises, because she's got a cock barreling into her esophagus, kind of takes me out of it for a second, you know? I guess I'm sensitive. Because, it looks and sounds unpleasant from the chick's perspective. I mean, guys presumably having a good time, but isn't that sort of an interesting phenomenon, you know? Like if you're a heterosexual man watching straight porn, you're getting off to another guy getting off. That's gay as hell. Sorry for being so dirty. I feel like I'm disappointing my grandma, you know? She's very Southern, very Methodist lady. And one day she asked me, she was like, Michael, are you a CEO Christian now? I was like, what does that mean, Grandma? And she was like, Christmas and Easter only. And I was like, damn, like, I mean, yeah, but this is a more aggressive form of passive aggression than I'm used to seeing from you, Harriet. On Easter Sunday a couple weeks ago, she got me a chocolate cross. It wasn't a bunny, it was a cross. Which I thought was a little blasphemous, right? I mean, like, Muslims aren't even allowed to draw pictures of their guy, and I'm eating the plank that ours bled out on. It's kind of dark. That morning, I went to church with my dad because I'm an aggressively accommodating middle child. I gotta throw the old man a bone, you know? And, alright. We got there, and I was really hungry at the time when we got to church, and I was hoping they at least had donuts. Because in my recollections of church growing up, that was often the highlight. Sometimes they'd have donuts there. And I get there, I see this guy's got these donuts at this desk, man. I was like, hey, can I get one of those? He's like, yeah, it's $1. I was like, this is church. Like, how are you engaging in capitalism right now? Like, I wanted to pull a Jesus at the temple and start flipping some tables, you know? If you didn't get that, you're going to hell, by the way. No, but yeah, it reminded me of my favorite Bible verse. I was naked and you clothed me. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was hungry and you charged me $1. Church is different now, man. I grew up so Christian. How Christian was it? Thank you. I grew up so Christian that we actually believed it. Like, does that make sense? Like there was none of this pussyfooting around like, oh, we go to church. Like, no, I thought it was real. It made like an impact on how I live my life and shit. Like, I took the rules very seriously for a very long time. And here's the thing about some of them rules, is that they were written at a radically different time for a radically different audience. You know, take, for example, not fuck until you're married. Back when these rules were being written, people got married when they wanted to fuck. You'd be like 15 years old getting married. It's kind of no big deal. But also like the idea that waiting for true love ever entered the equation when these rules are being written. At the time it was like, hey, I got a son, you got a daughter, he needs a wife, I got some goats, let's make this happen. It was very easy to get laid back in the day as long as your dad had goats. Thank you. So I felt like a dirty old man at work the other day. I asked out this cashier, thinking she was like 19, 20. First words out of her mouth, she goes, how old are you? And I was like, that's not a good question. I was like, I'm 22, how old are you? She goes, I'm 16. I know, like, I was creeped out too. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, better, like, I was mortified. It's an incredibly embarrassing situation. And afterwards, you know, I was like dwelling on it, like processing my shame, you know. I was like, God damn, like, she was born in 2001. I've been telling this joke for 2 years, by the way. If there's any mathletes in the audience going, wait a second, you said she was 16. It's 2019, buddy. It doesn't add up, I know. But if she was 18, the story wouldn't have quite the same impact, would it? Half of you would be like, what's the problem? I'd be like, you are, but... No, yeah. She's born in 2001. That makes her like 1 in 9/11s. Which, if a chick's not at least pushing 1.5 9/11s, you gotta keep walking. So, I'm just saying, it's a handy mental tool if you gotta do some quick math, you know? Like, hey, where were you when this tower fell? Can't remember, we're done here. Thank you for laughing at that. Because I had to go in with the thought process of, hey, Michael, if this story about asking out a child alienates anyone in the crowd, just reel him back in real quick with a 9/11 joke. Slap a Band-Aid on that. Oh, man. Hey, do you guys like one-liners? Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, I got 3 of them. All right. I don't know why that's funny. No, I think that jumping a car is kind of like sucking a cock. Because sometimes it's nice to help out a stranger in a parking lot. Thank you. I think that jumping a car is kind of like sucking a cock. Because if you're clumsy, you can incur damages both functional and cosmetic. Like on the car, the penis. Okay, that's you're the weakest one in the middle. Rule of threes. Okay. This is the Return of the King of the whole trilogy. I think that jumping a car is kind of like sucking a cock. Because my father taught me that it's something every man should know how to do.